I want to talk Tom Cruise.
Yay.
This is such a weird but oddly kind of plausible theory, though I will go to say, did you, if you haven't, you've got the article pulled up
Yeah,
there.
I have the article
The
right
photo is like such a bad photo.
Just in case anyone's wondering, I'm the only one who really reacts blindly.
Well, I give you the articles ahead of time.
Now you do, but initially you were like, no.
I needed you to vamp, okay? You need to vamp.
I'll vamp any day. Don't worry about it.
We love that about you. She can vamp in any situation. I could be like, let's talk about prime numbers. She'd be like, let's talk about prime numbers.
Prime numbers are a difficult concept for some people.
For me,
Really?
too. See, right there. She
Wait,
just started.
how's it like?
No. Back to Tom Cruise.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, I was about to like nerd out and go like prime numbers are.
We'll save it for our
easy.
math podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. According to multiple rumors, Iron Man may be returning in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Rumors say the character is set to appear in the upcoming Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness film. That's coming up very soon. That's a Sam Raimi project. To be clear, these rumors are not saying that Robert Downey Jr. will be returning to play Tony Stark. Rather, multiple reports. I always love when they say multiple reports. Like, what does that mean? You're the reporter here. What does that actually mean when somebody says
Sometimes it
multiple
means
reports?
that several other outlets have also unconfirmed rumors.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Which are like, I don't.
The
Okay.
definition of journalism, like what I've learned doing this, is how much of journalism is just copy and paste and change the order of a few words. And it's
Yes.
like it's literally an information pipeline designed to distract you.
Well, and it's funny because sometimes you'll be like, oh my gosh, this story's getting picked up everywhere. And it's exactly the AP wire copy, just recycled and pasted everywhere. Anyway, so.
And they may add like a little blurb at the top or the bottom to make it look slightly
how would you
different.
feel about Tom Cruise stepping in as Iron Man? Why wouldn't that other guy do it? Robert Downey Jr.
Because technically he died in the last spoiler alert.
Yeah.
In Avengers Endgame, his version of the character died, but when it comes to these types of movies, there's a gazillion ways you can work around to bring characters back. In this case, it would be either Tony Stark from another timeline or another Earth. My guess it would be timeline, or I'm sorry, from another universe, given that it's a Doctor Strange project, and multiverse literally means multiple universes.
Yeah, they really like created this wonderful loophole where they
It's
were
a
like,
beautiful-
we can do whatever we want. This is true of Doctor Who, right?
This is
They famously have designed it so at any given time they can carry the series on
Yeah.
without their
Yep.
lead actor.
But isn't wait
The
how old
multiverse is literally just a huge writing. It's a writing workaround.
You're gonna see. I want to see like so many other genres be like, how do we make our own version of the multi?
I was talking about that the other day.
Like romance is slightly doing that with like time travel. They're like,
Yeah.
anything could happen if we don't know when it's happening.
You don't know, and if there's multiple versions of a person, then they can bring the actor back at any time. Like they're bringing Michael Keaton back as Batman. Does it really make any sense? Not really, but you can.
They don't need sense. They have Batman.
You vaguely explain it, and you go from there.
Yeah.
In this case, what's funny about it is like Tom Cruise is kind of an inspired choice. Him and Robert Downey Jr. are almost the same age.
Yeah, I just searched it up.
They're
So Robert,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Robert Downey Jr. is like 3 years,
56.
and Tom Cruise is
9.
59. That's interesting. I would.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise looks fantastic for his age.
Do you think he paid for that, or do you think he's got good genes?
I think he.
Good
I think
genes.
both. No, I don't think it. I think it has some to do with genes and a lot more to do with the. Have you ever seen that meme? It says you're not ugly, you're just poor.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of all these celebrities who like, or Elon Musk. It says when you're so rich, your hair grows back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is. And that's not to say that they don't like.
Look,
I'm
I'm happy for you guys.
He's very famous for like early in his career. He's like, you can't just be an actor. He's like, you got to work out. You got to stay in shape. You got to make yourself marketable. He was kind of that first person to push like, when there's the time's gonna come, you're gonna have to take your shirt off in a role, and you're gonna want that. You want them to be able to see. And that's when I started to notice like most of these actors are in very, very good shape now. Back in the day, you expected the women to be in good shape because they were only gonna hire.
Well, and like it's like modeling in a sense, like building, like your career depends on your looks, and so therefore, time your schedule is built in to accommodate that.
It's a visual medium, so you have to. We're not in the 80s anymore when Dan Aykroyd was what a movie star looked like.
Yeah, well, where like you might like have like to research for this podcast, and then you record for this, and also you might have a meeting later in the day, and then you might have to do something for the vlog, like those things, those appointments that you have on your professional calendar when you are when your physical health and well-being are what your income relies on, like then you don't have a meeting. Like if you're a model, you might go get a facial. Like it sounds strange, but like they have the time in their professional
They work
capacity
it out.
to literally make it happen.
Yep. And for the people who take these roles, they're literally expected to put on a certain amount of muscle. The men are, and they have to look in shape. But it says a plot description of the upcoming Doctor Strange sequel suggests how this all might be possible. It's a workaround. Doctor Stephen Strange casts a forbidden spell that opens the door to the multiverse, including an alternate version of himself whose threat to humanity is too great for the combined forces of Strange, Wong, and Wanda Maximoff. We saw that in the post-credit scene from was that from?
It's from Spider-Man No Way Home.
So it says, so Strange traverses the multiverse. Ooh, fantastic use of traverse. He could meet various alternate versions of characters we are familiar with, including Tony Stark, who looks like Tom Cruise. And then you see this down here in this photo. It's so funny. I'm like, I guess it could maybe be Tom Cruise. It looks like Pedro Pascal more to me than it looks like Tom Cruise.
That looks like no one to me.
It looks like a facial blob of like if Tom Cruise's face. But remember, there was that picture a while ago of his face getting fat in that.
Yeah, but he looks like Norm Macdonald.
I don't
R.I.P.
see Norm. Yes, I don't see Norm Macdonald. There says further lending to these rumors is an alleged leak of Tom Cruise in a mocap suit. Although this remains yet confirmed or yet unconfirmed, the image could very well be from the set of the new Doctor Strange feature. I'm assuming that if that's coming out this year, that the filming on that movie is already wrapped. It says after all, he filmed the scenes as Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was often decked out in a similar outfit. In the image, Cruise can be seen sporting a goatee, a trademark look for Tony Stark. I mean, that's a pretty big goatee compared to like what Robert Downey Jr. did in that role. Maybe it's just the way it fits his face. But
what if Robert Downey Jr. is in it and then Tom Cruise comes through a seam in the multiverse and looks at him and they're like, you, me too. Like, we're both Tony Stark. And then they use that movie as a launching point for Tom Cruise, whatever this
But Tom
character
Cruise is older than...
they would likely bring him in for Ironheart. But that, like, Ironheart's going to be a TV show, and I don't think they can afford Tom Cruise on a TV budget.
No.
Likely.
I don't know. He's not working a ton right now.
Well, he's doing...
But he's still an A-list celebrity, I believe.
He's as close to you get to... he's doing both Mission Impossibles are being filmed concurrently. The next two Mission Impossibles are being... And those movies make more...
Is this mission really impossible? Because there's been 1,200 of them.
And those movies make money every time.
This impossible mission, which we currently always have to go on. I've never seen any, to be fair.
He provides the insurance for him because he wants to do his own stunts, and he's basically, he's his own boss now. He finances the movies himself because he can afford to do that.
Look, I have a controversial statement. I don't care for Tom Cruise.
Same.
I'm not interested in him.
I agree.
Him being in a movie does not make me want to go to it. I know this is... I don't really I know there was a moment where he was like a big deal, and I can respect.
Well, then people hated him for a while because of Scientology and the jumping on the couch thing, which got blown out of proportion.
Well, it's because he was celebrating that he got a newer model of a wife,
which I would celebrate. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just nothing about him is appealing to me, and I feel like he plays the same character over and over again. I have not seen him, and I haven't seen very much of his work.
If you haven't seen Vanilla Sky, you haven't seen all of Tom Cruise yet.
Yeah, but then, I don't know. I just think he's overhyped. Do you feel that way?
I would rather see Michael Fassbender as Tony Stark.
Same, but for me, I agree with you full-heartedly. I don't care for Tom Cruise. I don't care for Jennifer Aniston. Fight me.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Hot, very hot. That's
I like
close to
Jennifer
a hot take.
Aniston. She's fine, but Tom Cruise, I'm actively sort of this guy. I don't know.
I can respect a dude who will literally pay millions of dollars so that he can be
I
hung
respect
off the side of an airplane.
No, I respect that, but I just don't
I think
care
there are a
for
lot
him.
of people who if they had that kind of money, they would do that.
But I'm saying, he does it and then profits from it. That's impressive. He finds a way to profit from it.
Not really.
And all his movies, end up being the same thing. And I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with a person finding a niche that they're good at and sticking to it.
I just don't think he's particularly. He's not. I've never seen a performance of Tom Cruise, and I'm happy to get a suggestion and watch something different. But I've never been wow, that Tom Cruise fellow really did. I could not imagine anyone cast better. He's fine.
He is for many short men. He is that's the example.
Oh, so we're making this about height.
I'm saying I always think it's funny. He's the example they give. They're when somebody's oh, you can't. It's really hard to be a short person in Hollywood. And they're yeah, but Tom Cruise. I'm that's the exception, not the rule,
and a mediocre exception at that. that.
And they like, and they use it as like a thing where they're like, they put him on Apple boxes. I still remember when I think it was Jack Reacher came out. It was like the first time they let him be short in a movie. Like
and they called him Reacher.
Yeah,
that seems real rude.
That's a character that existed.
Yeah, but like
before
when
he
you're
played
short
that
and you
role.
have to reach for things. Do you see the inappropriate play on words?
Maybe that's what they were doing.
That's great.
But like they
because I
let
have to
him,
reach.
they let him be short in that. Like they didn't put him on Apple boxes to make him seem taller than he was. They just kind of let him be short. So
That's fine, I guess, but like that doesn't like I did not like him because he was short. I just don't really care for him because I'm never interested in what he's doing.
what I think is weird is like they at first I was like I don't think they can really afford him, but now it's at a point where Marvel is such a juggernaut that he might be willing to do it for less money.
And like
just
I
'cause he
said, like
wants to.
I know Mission Impossible, like you're right, Mission Impossible filming might be a boon to his career, but
He's
like,
also got Maverick, the new Top Gun coming out.
they're remaking Top Gun.
No, they're continuing.
It's a
it.
continuation.
Where he's they're it's I believe it has a lot to do with like the fact that he's like he remains a pilot his whole career. He never he chooses to not take promotion so that he can continue to fly. I actually like the story idea. So, and a lot of the aircraft scenes in that look like they're going to be game changing as far as like how they're shot. So there's interest there, but like I said, that's
it's a pass for me on Tom Cruise.
Okay, that's I'm one of those people that I'm more or less ambivalent about him.
Except for the fact that he's your short person icon.
What about Rocky?
And you've named several of his movies and you know all his current projects. But Brett's ambivalent.
I know his character. I know that stuff because it's my job to know that stuff. I could also tell you all the
Miracle, let's get Brett a Tom Cruise bobblehead for his
I
birthday.
know.
Oh my God, yes. You know they have a Tom
and I wouldn't
Cruise-
care because
I wouldn't care, except I would love it forever.
because I'm ambivalent about it.
I'm ambivalent. I just know everything about him.
You know there's a Tom Cruise pillow and a plushie?
There's no such thing as a pillow. There's a pillow, but a
Okay.
pillow is not a real thing.
Okay, fight me. Fight me.
Whatever. He's just worried about the plague.
I'm
And the pigs and the plague.
I'm being accused of Tom Cruise worship, and frankly, I'm insulted.
I didn't say worship. I just said it's okay to admit that you're a fan if I don't care for him.
I am not a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan. I love that
I
comment.
named like 2 movies.
I am an average fan.
I
Here.
named Vanilla Sky, and I named Mission Impossible of like a dude who's been acting for like 25
Here you
years.
go. We can buy you a face mask of Tom Cruise's smile.
I don't want it. That's weird.
It's really creepy, but I think he
He
would
paid
love
good
it.
money for that smile.
That's
Don't
it.
insult Tom Cruise.
Exactly, but imagine Brett wearing that around.
No, I don't like it.
I
I dislike that and refuse to look at it.
So there is a comment here that says one of the leaks is real, in which Tom Cruise is Iron Man in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So there's a chance that the other leaks may be real as well. One thing they could do is in a lot of situations like this, he'll just be a cameo. Like he'll be on screen for like 5 seconds, and that he gets.
He's like shooting his own movie in the
Yeah,
background.
like
Yeah.
he might have
That'd
been.
be funny.
He might do it as like a, it becomes like a pop culture thing in the future. Like remember when he did that random appearance in that movie, and that leaves open
So
the
you're
door.
saying
that he
he's trying to
comes
stay
back.
relevant to pop culture because he's a declining, needs to fade into the background star.
That could be. I don't think that he really needs that though, because
Because you're a big fan.
Because he makes the movies himself, so he doesn't need to stay relevant because he can just finance them himself. You need to stay relevant when you have to.
I can't, but like one could pay for their own movie and it could flop, and that's cool if you're like, this is what I wanted to do and I feel satisfied with that. But is he doing this so that he can be like,
Okay, we're going-
I'm still the '90s bad boy, early 2000s hotshot Tom Cruise.
He's got Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat coming out. That was Edge of Tomorrow. Was the first one from that series. Mission Impossible 7 and 8 are one's in post production, the other one's filming. The Mummy was awful. That is true. And then, but for the rest, I mean, most of these projects are every few years. It's not like he's working every year.
He's Sandra Bullock level. Remember when we
yeah.
talked about her and she was like, I'm not getting enough work, and then it was like every other year, every 3 years she puts out a movie. Like,
Yeah.
he's doing fine. I get
Yeah.
it. Like
There's
again,
nothing between 19 and 2022, but that's because of COVID prevented Maverick from coming out when it was supposed to in 2020. So the dude's still working. The Mission Impossible movies still do really, really well, which to me, I agree, is like, I like it because it's wonderfully like, we talk a lot about agenda in movies, and they're very wonderfully agenda free. They're very much popcorn movies that you're supposed to just go see and then either forget about, or
I hate
you're
when you talk about popcorn on this. Every time you guys mention going to the movies on this podcast, I'm like, we
Now
should
she
go and
wants
get
popcorn.
popcorn.
now she wants popcorn.
Do you want a candle that smells like popcorn?
No. Oh, no, thank you, but I appreciate it.
Well,
So-
Sorry, that was harsh.
So,
no, you're okay.
Hannah Claris it's a no as Tom Cruise in a Marvel movie. In Miracle, it's a no.
I
Me-
just don't like Tom Cruise.
Also, to be fair, it's a no from me from Tom Cruise all the
Period.
time.
And for me, I say, meh, if it's a cameo, whatever, I say they don't even do, they should just leave the role of Iron Man alone for
Yeah.
now. I understand the instinct to bring it back for the Iron, they'll have to find a way to bring the character back for Ironheart if they're going to make that character make sense, but I don't really think they need to do Tom Cruise in that role. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.